Well, if you're playing more of an up-tempo offense with some no huddle, if that's what might happen, is there more pressure on Martinez mentally than there was last year?
No, not necessarily. I think a lot of ways, I think it makes his job easier.
How so?
Gets you up on the ball quicker, and it puts some things, puts the game in his hands at times. There's ways you can put the game in his hands. There's ways you can take it out of his hands. There's a lot of different things. You have a lot of different options and a lot of different things you can do to help your quarterback and really help all your guys offensively. I like what we're doing offensively. I like our system, and I think it's very user friendly.
What about the process, though, of just when you're operating at that faster speed, as far as just the nuts and bolts of getting plays in and the give and take between the sideline and so forth?
Like I said, that's just logistical things. That's not real hard to accomplish, and I think that means we're going to be hitting on all cylinders the first game. No, it's the first time you're doing it in live action. It might be a little bit of growing pains with it, but I like what we're doing. But it's not like we're running around like in a 2-minute drill all the time, even when you do go up tempo. And that's to say that we're going to be up tempo. You have to change things up and do things that keep the defense off balance, and there's a lot of different ways to do that.
Last year, Levante David walked on campus and broke the school record for tackles. How much better can he be after a full year in the system?
I think he's a much better player right now. I don't know how that'll play out statistically. I mean, I don't put a lot of emphasis on statistics. You know that, but I know he's much more prepared. He's like I'd say the same way Taylor is. Levante is light years ahead of where he was a year ago, knowledge-wise, technique-wise. He's always going to be an instinctive, special football player, but he's come a long way, and he's much more prepared for what lies ahead than he was a year ago, and that's pretty scary. But like I said, that doesn't always show up statistically. There are a lot of things that play into that, but he's a good football player and getting better.
What can you tell us about Chattanooga?
Chattanooga is they play very hard. They have I think they got some team speed. They well-coached football team that's going to, on both sides of the football. They I think they're sound in what they do. They have a philosophy, and they stick with it. And I think we've done some work on them, obviously in the off season and also here over the last couple of weeks, and they do some things that present some problems for you. And obviously you're going into a first game. You don't know how much they're going to change, and there's always that element of the unknown when you go into a first game that as a coach, kind of keeps you on edge a little bit. But like I said, I think we're prepared. We'll be more well prepared come Saturday, and we'll be able to make adjustments if need be, depending on how they choose to come out and play us.
Thoughts on the quarterback? I know he started in Tennessee in training.
Yeah, I think he's a heck of a football player. I think the quarterbacks. He's obviously what makes their he and number 4, their wide receiver. Those guys kind of make their offense tick, and he's very good. He makes some big time throws, can make all the throws, and he's one of the better guys that I've seen in a while.
Can you use South Dakota State last year as an example with your guys about not taking an FCS team lightly at all?
I would hope we don't take anybody lightly. And, what happened is, we didn't play well against South Dakota State, especially offensively. And, I don't know if our guys took them lightly. I don't know about that game, but we'll be prepared come Saturday.
I know this isn't a conference game, but will you make notice that this is the first game that you play as a Big Ten member?
Will I make notice?
Yeah.
No, I'll leave that to you guys.
Oh, you've been following your pro guys, Roy Halug I know he had a good game, of course, and Dominican's been in the headlines recently, and the other guys. Do you have much time to follow these guys, and what are your thoughts about how they're doing in the next level?
I mean, I get reports. I don't obviously watch a lot. I haven't watched a lot of games. I caught some of the Redskin guys a couple times on TV, and saw Sue getting fined and playing good football. But you know, it looks like I mean, I'm proud of those guys and what they're doing. And I actually did pick up the paper this morning to make sure that none of their names were in the waiver column, and so. You know, this time of year, I'm just hoping for the best for all of them, that they all end up on a roster.
Hey, Bo, could you elaborate a little bit on Stu? I mean, he's in the headlines right now for, I guess, taking a swipe at a Patriots offensive lineman. He's been fined 3 times in his career. I guess, what do you make of just the way he plays?
Well, I think he's obviously such a physical, I mean, he plays violently. I would never, I don't think I've ever seen anyone characterize Sue as being dirty. So, you know, I know that in the NFL right now they have that big emphasis on obviously the fines and all those things going on. I saw you know, from what I saw, the first fine he got, it didn't look like a real dirty play to me, but I didn't, you know, I just glanced up at it. I didn't know the situation or anything like that, but. I know one thing, he continues to get better from what I've seen, and he's a dominant football player.
As far as you said that he plays violently, where's violent end and dirty begin?
Like I said, I would never characterize Ndamukong Suh as a dirty football player. It's a tough game. It's not for you know, I've never seen him play dirty. But when you're as big and strong and as physical as he is, sometimes things are going to happen.
Well, I know you just gave an update on Marrow. Do you have anything on Charles Jackson? If he's going to be with you guys at all for the season, or when he'll be on campus?
He's still under appeal, and we're kind of at the. I believe that appeal comes up here in the next day or two, and it just hasn't been heard yet. So we're kind of at the mercy of the NCAA on that.
Has it gotten so late now, though, that you probably could wait till January with him to get him on campus, or can you still bring him on campus at this point?
Well, I don't think you could bring him on. It wouldn't be in his best interest to come on campus because he's missed too much school, and you can't put somebody in that situation. So it'd probably be December before he came in.
Hey, Bo, Alex Henry did a lot for you guys the last couple of years. You know, situational punting, and had a big leg and really accurate. Where do you think you might miss him most, at least initially?
Well, obviously he was so place kicking wise. I mean, he was pretty close to being perfect, and I mean, like I said, it's a tough act to follow. But we, you know, Brett Maher, he's going to be the guy. He'll be doing the place kicking and the punting to start. Mauro Bondi's had a good. They both had good camps. They both done very well, and so you know, until they get out there and do it, you know, it's gonna. We'll see. But you know, it's like I said, it's a tough act to follow. But I feel real good about our guys, and I think we're in good hands as far as you know, Brett handling the place kicking to get started here, and we have a lot of confidence in him.
How do you get a kid like Maher ready to replace a guy like Alex?
You keep working on his technique, and practice makes perfect, you know, and he's done really well. And I think mentally he's a strong, tough kid. You know, he's not gonna, you know, it's his job now. He's earned it. So, you know, I think he's doing well, and I think it's